I know I had said we were not going to do a video this evening. Well, now we are. There is a Pretty Rickey bomb we have to discuss. He's reporting the Cowboys are finally closing in on an extension for superstar holdout wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. Going to be a 4-year deal worth around $34 million. Here's what my guy Pretty Rickey tweeted out earlier this evening. Cowboys closing in on a 4-year extension with Lamb worth between $136 and $138 million. Now, if your response is, who is Pretty Rickey? I understand. I trust him. He has had a ton of great reports, breaking insider information that the major insiders haven't had this year. Justin Jefferson got that one first, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, had Tua, had Brian Burns, had Calvin Ridley, had all these lists of deals before anybody else. He was the one who said the Giants trying to trade up for Drake May. That had been poo-pooed by the Giants media. Clearly true if you've watched Hard Knocks, by the way. That was clearly a verified, actually factual information. It didn't happen, but they were trying. I know Clarence Hill said, it's not true. I trust Pretty Rickey. His track record is impressive. He was the one who had, if Lamb wasn't getting at least $32 million off, or he was going to demand a trade. Well, if he's getting what he's asking for, he's not going to demand a trade. Deal's not done. Not, officially announced by any of the big insiders, not officially announced by the organization. I know Clarence Hill said it's not true, but Rickey's broken more news than Clarence Hill has in a long time. It's not even a slide at Clarence Hill. It's how good he's been. If you are pumped to pay CeeDee Lamb, I want you guys to type 88 for me in the comment section. Let's continue to make sure this deal gets done. It is overdue. Spam your 88s for me in the comments. Here are the known contract details that we have so far based on what Rickey has reported. 4-year deal. I do think that was probably a sticking point. Historically speaking, the Cowboys have had issues of, we won 5 years. We won 4 years. 4 years versus 5 years is a difference. There's about a $2 million per year difference between each year you add to it. So it's not the same. So you can agree on the money, but if you don't agree on the years, you actually don't agree on the money. Again, total money is $136 to $138. No details on the guaranteed money. I have some theories we'll get to later on in today's show. And that average would be, again, $34 to $34.5 million. More than A.J. Brown, which was the bare minimum, and less than Justin Jefferson, which is probably still fine for the Cowboys in the end. So give me your one-word reaction to this impending, we'll call it, CeeDee Lamb deal. It is the pinned comment on today's show, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. My one word is going to be overdue. I'm glad that, assuming this does come to officially finalize whatever fruition, and it's the money that's been reported, thank God. It's overdue. This deal should have been done a while ago. And the Cowboys can claim, Lamb didn't want to do a deal last year. Do you know how you get a player to do a deal that they don't want to do? You pay them market rate early. Cowboys were not going to pay CeeDee Lamb $30 million last year. They were not going to do it. They were not going to pay him $29 million, whatever the figure would have been. If they had tried, they weren't trying. Come on now, we know that. Different story. Operating with urgency saves you money in the end. In theory, getting this deal done before Jamar Chase, I don't really think the Brandon Ayuk deal is going to come in at that figure, so I don't know how much that matters. Chase, I think, will end up coming in at or around that figure. But this was needed and overdue. There's another good one, needed. CeeDee Lamb is the gas of this. Remember how Elliott was the straw that stirs the drink? Lamb is like the ice that makes it cool and refreshing and enjoyable. You need him out there. Your receiving core sucks without CeeDee Lamb. I'm sorry. It's not good. And if you weren't willing to pay the market-going rate for a 25-year-old all-pro wide receiver, and that going market rate was somewhere between $32 and maybe just under $35 million, you're landing right in that, you're never going to pay anybody. We have to operate. I know there's sticker shock. I get that. It's $34 million. Oh, my God. I get it. But that's what it costs these days. The NFL made like $18 billion or 13, whatever it was, in revenue. Billion with a B. We're like a year away from it being $20 billion in rev. It's just expensive. As the salary cap goes up, shocker, player contracts go up too. You're not going to get last year's rate. You try that, players and agents are going to say, no, we're not doing that. Cowboys aren't special anymore. You had to make Lamb one of the highest paid wide receivers. I feel even more confident ever right now. Obviously, this deal does formally, officially get done in a couple days at most. Get it done, finalize it, get him in camp. Problem solved. You guys can check out today's sponsor. That is GameTime. GameTime is the place for last-minute tickets, whether it's to baseball, future NFL games, basketball, concerts, comedy, theater, whatever. GameTime has you guys covered. I recently bought some MLB tickets. If your team's not very good, they're a little bit cheaper, turns out. Not as good of a game, but also wait later. Closer to the event, the cheaper the tickets are, and you know you're going to get the best price with GameTime thanks to the GameTime guarantee. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, GameTime's going to credit you 110% of the difference. You can take your phone, move it around a little bit, get a good angle, and kind of like a live photo. Actually see where your seat is relative to the actual stadium and event. So check out GameTime today and download the GameTime app over at gametime.co. Create your account and use code CHATSPORTS. See it right there. CHATSPORTS. ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. But again, create your account and redeem code ChatSports for $20 off. Download GameTime today for last-minute tickets. The lowest price, all guaranteed. Link and the promo code will be in the comments and the description of today's show. Again, operating on the still waiting on finalized contract details here for CeeDee Lamb. Should be the second highest paid wide receiver. That is the market. It's just how it operates. He is a better player than A.J. Brown, who is younger. You were never going to get him for less than $32 million. Now, if you had tried to operate with urgency last offseason, maybe you could have. You could have saved a few $1 million. That's not how the Cowboys want to operate. That's how they never operate when it comes to high-paid players. The real question mark is what the guaranteed money is going to look like, because I don't think the average per year was that big of a sticking point. I do think the guaranteed, and maybe the year is how the Cowboys tend to operate. I think the guaranteed is the sticking point, because there's a big gap there between Justin Jefferson and A.J. Brown. That's a large amount of guaranteed money differences there. And the A.J. Brown deal's, it's kind of a weird extension because the Eagles do some fun stuff with it. I think you're going to be around six-figure guarantees is going to be my guess, around six figures. So that would put Lamb somewhere among the highest paid non-QBs. I think the question that they're going to be sorted out here is, does he fit at two or three? And maybe you get just a little bit more than Nick Bosa at 34, so you can be the second highest paid non-QB in football, win that sticking point. I want to see the guaranteed money. That's what I'm most intrigued by, which Rickey did not have. And maybe they're not finalized on that front yet. Maybe they're still haggling over a few $1 million. Because there's only one receiver on this list. Bosa, Jefferson, Myles Garrett, Chris Jones, Josh Hines Allen now, but it's all the same. I think over under $90 million guaranteed. Maybe he does get to the 100, maybe 95. I think he's on this list. It's a question of where he slots in. When big-time Cowboys news and rumors and updates happen, we have you guys covered. Hit that sub button at youtube.com/@CowboysTV for more free Cowboys YouTube videos right here. A couple closing thoughts here on CeeDee Lamb. Look, he is an essential part of your offense. Without him, the offense doesn't exist. At least not good enough. If you're power ranking the importance, the value of your players, apologies to the offensive line, it's Dak and Lamb and maybe even a big drop-off. Tyler Smith, of course, in that conversation. Zach Martin in there too. But my point has been this for a long time. It never made any sense to not have a deal done. You have a premier player who's 25 years old, who led the NFL in catches, in yards at the catch, and expected points added, and was second in yards. You need him. It's like putting gas in your car. What am I going to do? Not get gas? Yeah, it's bullshit that gas prices are as high as they are. Okay, we can be mad about that. Guess what? I need gas. Sorry, have to have it. Need it. Can't not have it. Can't not drive. Can't pay more for an Uber because I'm still paying for the gas, but just not directly. That's where you're at. So before we go, final question for you guys. Rank CeeDee Lamb among NFL wide receivers. Is he 3? Is he 4? Is he 2? Sound off in the comments right now.